Hello everyone, I am Yatendra Singh, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Rama University, Kanpur. Our today's discussion topic is anti-malarial drugs. Key points of our today's discussion is what is malaria, sign and symptom of malaria, life cycle of malarial parasites, clinical classification of anti-malarial drugs, chemical classification of anti-malarial drugs, and mode of action of anti-malarial drugs. Reference book for our today's discussion is Rang and Dale Review of Pharmacology 9th edition. As we all know that malaria is a protozoal infection. Mainly 5 species of Plasmodium is responsible for spreading malaria. These 5 species are Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium novelsi. Plasmodium malariae is most dangerous and fetal form of Plasmodium parasite, while Plasmodium novelsi is recently discovered and is responsible for spreading malaria in many tropical and subtropical countries. All these form is spreaded by female Anopheles mosquito. Malaria is also known as vector-borne disease. There are two hosts in life cycle of malarial parasites. First host is known as definitive host. Definitive hosts are those hosts where sexual cycle will occur. In the case of malaria, definitive host is female Anopheles mosquito and second host is intermediate host. Intermediate hosts are those hosts where a sexual cycle will occur. In the case of malaria, intermediate host is human. In the salivary gland of female Anopheles mosquito, Plasmodium parasite is present in the form of sporozoite. When this female Anopheles mosquito bite to any healthy human individual, it deliver their sporozoite into the human blood. This sporozoite does not stay in the human blood. They immediately transfer to the liver. In the liver, they stay and in favorable condition, they start multiplying by asexual reproduction. By asexual reproduction, they increase their population and convert it to tissue zones. When liver cell is ruptured, they release in the form of merozoites. This pathway is responsible for primary attack of malaria. Some part of entered sporozoite in the liver stay in the liver in dormant form. In the dormant form, these are known as hypnozoites. They may activate after 2 days, after 10 days. When they activate, they again converted to tissue zones, and when liver cell is ruptured, they also release in the form of merozoites. This pathway is responsible for relapse of malaria. Release merozoite in the blood entered into the RBC cell. Within the RBC cell, these are known as blood zones. Within the RBC cell, they increase their population by asexual reproduction. When RBC cell is ruptured, merozoites release in the blood. Every time when RBC cell is ruptured, main symptom of malaria will occur, that is fever, chills, rigor, shivering and sweating. During this cycle, some male and female gametes are made. This male and female gamete does not fuse within the human blood. For fusion, they always need a female Anopheles mosquito. When any uninfected female Anopheles mosquito bite to this infected human being, then this male and female gametes are reaches to the stomach of female Anopheles mosquito. In the stomach of female Anopheles mosquito, sexual cycle will occur, and after fertilization, sporozoites are made. After maturation, These sporozoites are transferred to the salivary gland of female Anopheles mosquito. This is a life cycle of malarial parasite. To ease understanding of the anti-malarial drugs, life cycle of Plasmodium parasite is divided into different stages. For example, when parasite is within the RBC cell, this stage is known as erythrocytic stage. When Plasmodium parasite is in the form of male and female gamete, this stage is known as gametocytic stage. When parasite is present in the liver in the form of dormant stage, this stage is known as exoerythrocytic stage. And when sporozoite is entered within the liver, this stage is known as pre-erythrocytic stage. Chemical classification of anti-malarial drugs. First category is 4-aminoquinolone. Example of this category is chloroquine and amodiaquine. Second category is quinoline methanol. Example of this category is mefloquine. Third category is cinchona alkaloid. Example of this category is quinine and quinidine. Fourth category is biguanide derivative. Example of this category is proguanil and chlorproguanil. Fifth category is diaminopyrimidine derivative. Example of this category is pyrimethamine. Sixth category is 8-aminoquinoline. Example of this category is primaquine and bulaquine. Next category is sulfonamide. Example of this category is sulfadoxine and dapsone. Next category is tetracycline. Example of this category is tetracycline and doxycycline. Next category is sesquiterpene lactone. Example of this category is artemether artesunate. Next category is amino alcohol. Example of this category is halofentrine and lumefantrine. Last category is naphthoquinone. Example of this category is atovaquone. Now I am going to discuss with you mode of action of anti-malarial drugs. Our first category is 4-aminoquinolone. Hemoglobin having two parts. One is heme and another is globulin. It is a protein. To survive within human body, Plasmodium parasite always need this heme iron. But this heme iron is as such toxic to the Plasmodium parasite. Plasmodium parasite utilize this heme iron by converting it to non-toxic hemazoin. Chloroquine is a weak basic drug. It concentrated to acidic vacuole of Plasmodium parasite, where drug heme complex is made, and it prevents the formation of hemazoin, and ultimately this lead to death of Plasmodium parasite due to the toxicity of heme iron. Our second category is quinoline methanol, and third category is cinchona alkaloid. Both of these category is having same mode of action as 4-aminoquinolone. Biguanide derivative, diaminopyrimidine derivative, and sulfonamide are also known as folic acid synthesis inhibitor. As we all know that folic acid is a key ingredient that is responsible for synthesis of genetic material. In Plasmodium parasite, folic acid synthesis is start with para-aminobenzoic acid. Para-aminobenzoic acid is converted to dihydrofolic acid in the presence of folate synthetase enzyme, and this dihydrofolic acid is converted to tetrahydrofolic acid in the presence of folate reductase enzyme, and finally folic acid synthesis takes place by tetrahydrofolic acid. Sulfonamide having ability to block folate synthetase enzyme. That's why para-aminobenzoic acid does not convert to dihydrofolic acid, and finally folic acid synthesis does not takes place. Diaminopyrimidine derivative and biguanide derivative are folate reductase inhibitor. Due to this, dihydrofolic acid does not convert to tetrahydrofolic acid, and finally folic acid synthesis does not takes place. Mode of action of 8-aminoquinolone derivative is not known, but some research scientists suggest that its mode of action is same as 4-aminoquinolone derivative. Main adverse effect of 8-aminoquinolone derivative is that it causes hemolysis in patient having G6PD deficiency. That's why 8-aminoquinolone derivative, that is primaquine, is contraindicated in pregnant women and infant less than 1 year. Primaquine is one of the most extensively used drug for treatment of malaria. Our next category is tetracycline. Tetracyclines are protein synthesis inhibitor. Tetracycline block amino-acyl attachment of tRNA on 30S ribosomal subunit. Our next category is sesquiterpene lactone. Artemisinin is a prodrug. In the acidic vacuole of parasite, cleavage of peroxide bridge of artemisinin compound by heme iron. Due to this, free radical is generated. That's why damage of protein and lipid peroxidation takes place. Due to this, ultimately death of Plasmodium parasite takes place. Our next category is naphthoquinone derivative. Mode of action of this category is not known, but medicinal practitioner used this category of drug with other anti-malarial drugs for prophylaxis of malaria. Now I am going to discuss with you clinical classification of anti-malarial drugs. Clinical classification is based on the different stages on which different category of anti-malarial drugs is act on. For example, our first category is tissue sigenticidal drugs. These are those drugs which kill parasite when it present in liver. Example of this category drug is primaquine and atovaquone. Our next category is blood sigenticidal drugs. These are those drugs which kill parasite when it present within the RBC cell. These are highly used drugs. There are two types of blood sigenticidal drugs. First is fast acting blood sigenticidal drugs and another is slow acting blood sigenticidal drugs. The example of fast acting blood sigenticidal drugs are mefloquine, artemisinin, chloroquine, halofantrine, atovaquone and quinine. Example of slow acting blood sigenticidal drugs are proguanil, pyrimethamine, sulfadoxine, doxycycline and clindamycin. Last category in clinical classification is gametocidal drug. These are those drugs which kill parasite when it is in male and female gamete form. Example of gametocidal drugs are chloroquine and quinine. This is all about anti-malarial drugs. In our next lecture, I will discuss one by one all these category in detail. Thank you so much.